The Uncharted Expeditions team, left to right: Timothy Draper, Josh Blodgett, Sean Fotheringham, and Antonio Mendez. Photo courtesy of Treasures in America ST, Georgia ABC4, with tales of lost mines, buried Aztec gold, and paranormal activity. Utah has long been a mecca for treasure hunters and adventure seekers of all kinds. Shows like Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch have fascinated and captivated audiences in our state and beyond. And although there have been no major discoveries of hidden Aztec gold, Spanish riches, or the like thus far, many of us are still left to wonder. Timothy Draper, founder of Treasures in America, a Utah-based one-stop shop for all things treasure hunting, has been wondering for 25 years. Indeed, Draper has made his career out of searching for these rumored riches. He's been involved with both Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch, and now he's out to create his own treasure hunting show called Uncharted Expeditions. The show, which will be available on Amazon Prime, iTunes, and YouTube, just began filming in St. George, and its first season will officially be released on November 25, 2022. And even though Utah's possibilities for this sort of treasure-based adventure are amply documented, Draper's team of treasure hunters thinks there's room for one more, and that they have something new to bring to the table. What's going to separate us between everybody else and their television shows is, in my opinion, a lot of these guides you see on TV are new at what they do. They're new to the treasure hunting world, Draper says. That's good for entertainment, and these other networks spend a lot of money trying to help educate them on how to do it the correct way. But I'm a real treasure hunter. I'm the guy they call to get the story idea and to get the information to find old maps and stuff like that. And aside from Draper's experience, the show will also differ from others in that it won't just zero in on a particular area of Utah. Each episode will feature a hunt for a unique treasure in a different corner of the Beehive State. During the first season alone, the team will work to track down lost Spanish silver mines, Aztec artifacts, ancient, historic sites, and silver and gold bars. Some of my research in the last 25 years has taken me all the way down to Mexico to find documents, old maps, research these stories of what the conquistadors did here in the western states, he says. Utah has some very remarkable stories about treasures and the Spanish lost mines, the lost gold, and so I just figured it would be a good first season to start right at home. Draper's team is comprised of himself and 5 other men: Sean Fotheringham, the team climber, Todd Anderson, the miner and prospector, Mark Hoover, the detectorist and diver, Antonio Mendez, the digger and interpreter, and Josh Blodgett, the production manager. For future seasons, Draper says the team is planning to explore treasures in other states besides Utah too. I have so many treasure sites in North, Central, and South America. I can't do it all by myself in my lifetime, he says. I spent the last few years creating this elite treasure hunting team. Every one of my guys have a different talent that I need to get closer and closer to these treasures. So we're hoping by doing a different story every episode, that we're going to be able to show America that there are treasures around every corner and in every state. In the past, that while it's certainly possible there is buried treasure in Utah, there is also reason to be skeptical. Richard Payne, associate professor of anthropology at the University of Utah, says that while Aztec gold certainly does exist, the stories of hidden treasure passed on by the conquistadors may have been fabricated by Mesoamerican peoples simply to get the Spanish to go somewhere else. But still, it's certainly fun to imagine that there's treasure somewhere in our backyard. And with all these shows, if there are riches to be found, hopefully there's enough to go around. The wild terrain of Utah has long been the setting for legends, lore, and lost gold. With its rust-colored canyons, remote desert basins, and mysterious mountain ranges, the state is a natural backdrop for stories that blur the line between myth and reality. For generations, tales of hidden treasures have passed from one storyteller to another, often evolving with each telling. Now, a new reality-based television series is diving into these age-old legends, hoping to determine whether these stories are simply folklore or if there's still gold buried somewhere beneath Utah's rugged soil. This new series, slated to air nationally later this fall, combines documentary-style investigation with boots-on-the-ground exploration. The team behind it includes a mix of historians, survival experts, archaeologists, and tech-savvy treasure hunters. Their goal isn't just to entertain, but to follow the clues, many of which date back centuries, and use modern technology to uncover what might lie hidden beneath the state's iconic landscapes. At the heart of the show is a question that has haunted adventurers for over a century. Could some of the most elusive treasures of the American West be buried in Utah, a state rich in legends? Utah's connection to treasure hunting is deeper than many realize. While the state is best known for its natural beauty and unique geological features, it's also home to one of the most infamous treasure legends in American folklore, the Lost Rhodes Mine. The story claims that a Mormon settler named Thomas Rhodes was shown the location of an extremely rich gold vein by a group of Native Americans during the mid-1800s. He extracted a significant amount of gold over time, but was sworn to secrecy. When he died, the exact location of the mine was supposedly lost forever. Then there are the legends tied to Spanish gold. Utah was once traversed by Spanish conquistadors in search of riches. Some believe they discovered gold or silver in the region and hid it in caves or tunnels before being driven away by local tribes or forced to abandon their efforts. Scattered petroglyphs, odd rock formations, and rumors of sealed caverns have fueled this theory for decades. One particularly persistent legend centers on the so-called Treasure of the Knights of the Golden Circle, a secret Confederate society rumored to have hidden caches of gold across the western United States to fund a future Southern uprising. Utah, with its vast uninhabited areas and complex cave systems, is often cited as a possible hiding ground for some of these lost hoards. The modern hunt begins by establishing the historical framework, diving into archives, dusty journals, and old maps. Instead of sensationalizing, the show takes a research-first approach, grounding each episode in tangible documentation. The creators believe that many treasure shows of the past veered too far into speculation, often sacrificing accuracy for drama. This production wants to balance storytelling with credible investigation. Armed with drones, ground-penetrating radar, magnetometers, and satellite imaging software, the team begins their hunt in some of Utah's most remote and inaccessible locations. One episode focuses on a stretch of wilderness in the Uintas, an area associated with strange disappearances, rumored gold caches, and mysterious markers carved into stone. Another investigates stories tied to the San Rafael Swell, a maze-like desert landscape riddled with canyons, mesas, and hidden alcoves. Each potential site is meticulously documented, with the crew not only searching for treasure, but also examining signs of old mining operations, man-made structures, or historical anomalies that suggest prior human activity. In one particularly suspenseful segment, the team follows a series of cryptic clues carved into rock, allegedly left behind by 19th-century treasure guardians, which may lead to a long-sealed chamber. Between fact and folklore, a recurring theme throughout the show is the tension between historical evidence and local legend. Utah has no shortage of storytellers, and the show doesn't shy away from interviewing locals who've grown up hearing the tales. Some believe without question that their ancestors knew the location of hidden gold. Others view the legends as moral fables, designed to teach lessons about greed or perseverance. Yet, even skeptics admit that certain details in these stories refuse to fade. Descriptions of landmarks, specific symbols etched into cliff faces, and accounts of travelers stumbling upon unusual relics have shown remarkable consistency across decades. The show explores this duality, presenting the possibility that treasure might not only refer to physical gold or silver, but also to lost knowledge, forgotten places, or cultural insights that reveal more about the region's history. Environmental and ethical considerations while the thrill of discovery fuels the show, it also raises important ethical questions. Utah is home to sacred indigenous lands, protected archaeological sites, and ecologically sensitive environments. The production team worked closely with tribal councils, state archaeologists, and conservation experts to ensure that their searches did not cross ethical or legal lines. No digging or artifact removal occurs without proper permits, and any significant discoveries are turned over to state authorities. The show makes a point to highlight this process, educating viewers on the responsibilities that come with exploring historically rich terrain. This careful balance between adventure and stewardship is one of the program's defining characteristics. It shows that treasure hunting, when done responsibly, can be about more than just profit. It can be a way to engage with history, preserve stories, and connect with the land in meaningful ways.